能听到吗？能听到吗？能听到是吧？
Hello。
嗨，大家好，能听到吗？测试测试。感谢进直播间的朋友们，我们的直播一会儿就开始了。
So I always get a little nervous.
I have to do several times, but I will be nervous too.
Yeah.
Because do the live things that you can. 手机调静音了吗 ？Show. We usually do each moment as you are our first foreigner guest.
Nice.
So we open
nice.
up. I hope often you too live show.
Yeah, I'm cool. Tweet, so.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
It's fun.
So which camera should I look at?
Maybe this camera, because there are much more Chinese audience do this, and we have no fans on YouTube
Got
page,
it.
right?
Oh.
Maybe some our colleagues or someone.
Yeah.
I think your live show last time also in operating manager promote this. It's very good. Handsome in the camera.
Thank you.
如果可以了，你就给我别片。这边线上有多少人啊？
I think this has been live for 16 minutes.
Really?
I'm not sure. I can't tell.
No, we just opened it for just 10 minutes, I think.
Okay, cool. All right, good to go.
Okay. YouTube 有声音吗？群里面说 YouTube 没声音，有声音吗？
现在应该
有了是吗？那我开始了。你确认一下 YouTube 有没有声音，然后我就开始。Hello everyone, welcome to our live stream from DBG. I'm Lizzie Law, CMO of DBG Exchange, and today we're going to discuss about stable coins. And here we have our new guest here, Ryan, head of TUSD of its Asia market, head of its Asia market. Welcome, Ryan.
Thank you for having me.
And maybe say hello to our audience.
你好，我叫 Ryan，
Yeah.
我在 TUSD 工作，但是我的普通话不好，所以我要说英文。So 抱歉 but happy to be here.
Yes. 说得很好. Your Chinese is good. And maybe you can introduce yourself and the TUSD a little bit about your company first to our audience.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So our company is Trust Token, and we are focused on tokenization of real-world assets.
Mm-hmm.
And TUSD is our first product. You can think of it as tokenized US dollars.
Yes,
TUSD.
tokenized the US dollar.
Yes. And so, it's been in development since 2017. We launched in March of 2018, first on Bittrex, an exchange in the United States. And since then, we've gone to list on about 75 exchanges, most recently with the wonderful folks at CBG.
Yes. Welcome to JBG.
Yeah.
And we have noticed that, and many friends ask that stable coins have been a hot issue, and for the last year in 2018 there have many stable coins coming up, and many would ask that why there are so many stable coins, because of stable coins can make a lot of money, or for what reason there are so many stable coins?
Yeah. So if you'll allow me to give a bit of a longer answer. Prior to 2017, the only real stablecoin that dominated the market was Tether, USDT.
Yes.
Tether launched in about 2014 and then really took off to dominance in 2017 during the rise of Bitcoin.
Yes.
And then in late 2017, early 2018, we saw the launch of DAI, which is a crypto collateralized stablecoin. based sort of all around the world. And then we launched, a couple weeks later in late 2017, early 2018. And like in that time, that was sort of it. And then I think what happened was that in April of 2018, the project Basecoin or Basis went out and raised $133 million to build an algorithmic stablecoin. And I think what happened was that you saw a lot of other projects around the world or other teams around the world see that and think, even if we can raise a quarter of what they raised, we'll still be in a pretty good place.
Yeah.
And so I think you saw a lot of teams that saw that there was a lot of funding going to the space and then decided to reactively start building stablecoins because of that. I think that was sort of the big thing. And the most recent estimate I saw from a recent report from blockchain.com, I think it came out in September, was that globally there are 57 stablecoins either in development or launched all around the world. And so there's no shortage of teams working on this. And it's ironic because at least compared to some of the other things in the crypto space, I've joked and our team has joked that stablecoins are relatively boring, right? I mean, the price stays at $1.
Yes.
So compared to some of the other craziness of the space, it's been kind of funny that stablecoins have so much interest.
Okay, and so for a team that's running the issue a stable coin, how they make money by these stable coins? Maybe we are curious about it because you are coming into this market, must for some reason, must for benefit, I think.
Yes, and so again, there's at least now sort of 3 popular models of stablecoins.
3种模式.
Yes, 3 models. So you have the fiat collateralized model, which TUSD is. You have the crypto.
Fiat.
Yeah, you have the crypto collateralized model like DAI, and then you have the algorithmic model. These are things like Reserve or Basecoin, which is now shut down.
Yes.
In the fiat collateralized model, the way that it works is that funds are sent to us and then we send back TUSD, and we earn interest on those funds that are held in the bank. Right, and so it's in the U.S. 2% or something annually.
Oh, got it.
So again, a fairly boring, straightforward model, but sort of tried and true, and that it's the same thing that things like Venmo in the U.S. and maybe like a WeChat Pay or an Alipay in Asia used to make money. I'm not
okay.
For other models though, like DAI, they have a 2-token model, and so while DAI is the stablecoin, you have their other token Maker MKR, and the price on that fluctuates. You can look at that CoinMarketCap.
Okay, got it. And so as you have mentioned that there are so many stable coins, and as an investor, we may confused what the difference between them. And you may say that USDT was the first one there, and some other like TUSD. What's the difference between you?
Yeah, so I mean the biggest difference between USDT and TUSD, there's a few, but at the end of the day, the biggest difference is on the redeemability process. So if you want to move from stablecoin to dollars.
If you want 把它从那个稳定币转化成法币的话。
Yeah. So if you want to go from TUSD to US dollars, you come to our website, you pass a KYC AML check, so know your customer, anti-money laundering, and then you will just kind of send in TUSD to our web portal, and this will be set up with your bank wiring address. And if you're in the US, you can have your funds sent to you in the same day. Now the same cannot be said for Tether. I don't know if you have or anybody listening has ever tried to redeem Tether for US dollars. It's a fairly difficult process, and I've heard estimates ranging that the process can take anywhere from 1 week to if you look at Reddit, there's sort of horror stories about it taking 70 days or multiple months. And now there's actually high fees associated with that as well. I believe it's as high as 3%, whereas for us it's 0 fees to redeem.
Okay, so let me conclude your point in Chinese a little bit.
Please.
就是 Ryan 介绍到就是2个不同的点，主要是2个，一个呢就是当我把这个稳定币转化为法币转回来的时候呢，这个程序的问题，这个时间长的问题，那么对于 TUSD 来说，它可能就非常快，它就是去它的网站完成它的 KYC， 然后就可以直接把币这个转化成法币回来了。但是对于USDT 来说，这个过程可能会非常长 ，maybe 他提到了他们有一些可能花费了一周的时间 1 week， 这是第一点，这个时间提现的一个便捷性的问题。第二点就是这个提现的手续费的问题的 fee， 然后TUSD 是零手续费的，就不收取任何手续费的。Okay.
Sure.
You're welcome.
And there's one other big difference as well. It's that from the beginning, so from the time that we launched TUSD in March of 2018 to now, we have put out monthly attestation reports.
Monthly.
Yes. And so what an attestation is, you can kind of think of it as like an audit light. So it's not a full audit by any means. But we work with a third-party accounting company in the U.S., Cohen & Company, and they come in every month and verify that the funds that we're holding in our bank accounts actually match up with what's traded on exchanges. And you can see all of our attestation reports on our website going back to March at blog.trusttoken.com.
Okay. 那我介绍第三点哈，第三点就是他们有一个合作的非常专业的会计团队，他们是每月都会在他们的官网上公开他们的审计报告。那么这个审计报告呢，会把他们关于他们在他们的银行账号和是不是有足够多的跟他们发行的 TUSD 是不是对等的这样一个情况去公开在他们的网站。Maybe you can repeat your website one more time.
Blog, blog, .trusttoken.com.
Trusttoken.com. Okay. Yes. Okay. So have you done with this question?
Yes. Those are the two big points. I mean, the smaller point is just that TUSD is based on top of Ethereum, so it's ERC20, whereas Tether is not, and that makes it a little bit more difficult on sort of the storage and transfer side.
Okay. We have now get much familiar with the stablecoin market, and now maybe we want to know more about TUSD.
Sure.
Yes, we have listed TUSD on TBG exchange last week, and so we have choose TUSD for reason that you have just mentioned, and I think it's much more apparent for the audience to know your company. Maybe you can give a detailed information about TUSD and your company. You have mentioned that the trust token.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were founded in 2017.
Yeah.
And we've been working on TUSD pretty diligently in the time since then. We're a team of about 30 people now. I think it's maybe 28 or 29. We are based in San Francisco in the United States. That's where most of our sort of engineering, legal, marketing, teams like that are based. And I have sort of relocated out here as of October, just because of all of, obviously all of the exchanges and OTC desks and, quantitative trading firms are very much largely based in Asia. And so from a BD perspective, we've been spending a lot of time out in this market lately. And you can see I'm working on my Chinese, even though it's not there yet.
Okay, you're Chinese. Okay, so maybe your future plan of your TUSD and your company trust token.
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe a little bit, slow down a little bit.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. So on the TUSD side, for the next, call it 1 to 3 months, we are still very much focused on
TUSD.
on getting listed with TUSD specifically. We're very focused on finishing to list on all of the top 30, top 50 exchanges. So like I mentioned, I think now we're listed on 75 exchanges. And so that is more exchanges than any other stablecoin besides Tether.
The second place.
Second place, yes. But there's still a long way to go. And there is hundreds of exchanges at this point. And we want, the goal is to be listed on all of them with trading zones on all of them, trading columns, as some would say, quote currencies. And so, we're still very much focused on finishing up that effort. From there, I think that there are still so many things that we can do with TUSD alone. And so whether this is using TUSD for, futures and options trading, whether this is integrating TUSD into remittance platforms. And so, if you're in Hong Kong and you want to send money back to family in the Philippines, you should be able to do that using a low fee, fast stablecoin. not having to use, the expensive booths on the corner in Wan Chai or something.
Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, so things like that. Also looking at things, like broader peer-to-peer payments and other use cases beyond that with TUSD. We think that there is still a lot of unexplored territory in the stablecoin market.
Yeah.
Beyond that, though, sort of like I had mentioned, the company Trust Token, we're focused on tokenization of all assets.
Yes,
And
all access.
Yes, and so whether that is currencies, commodities like gold, or things that will eventually be deemed security tokens. So tokenizing shares in a company or tokenizing a piece of real estate. These are all things that we're also focused on. Admittedly, with some of those later things, we're sort of waiting for better guidance in the US from a legal and regulatory perspective. We haven't gotten very clear guidance on how some of those things will be treated. And also there's not a lot of liquidity yet for that. And so we're still waiting on some of that. But right now we are actively exploring what would or could be our next tokenized currency. So whether this is something like True Euro, True KRW, whatever it may be, we're sort of digging in on a lot of those right now and seeing which makes the most sense from a demand perspective, but also from a legal perspective.
Okay, and now we would have a more specific picture of your token and your company.
Yes.
And come back to the topic of stable coins. Maybe there are more things we want to discuss. That maybe as an investor, we want to know that is that any benefit that we hold a stable coin rather than compare to other cryptocurrencies.
Yes, definitely. So I mean, let's just let's play a hypothetical here. Let's say on January 1st of 2018, right? Sort of when the market was very, very high, right?
Yes.
Bitcoin then was maybe about $18,000 or something.
Yes.
Okay. Let's say, a better example. Yeah, sure. January 1st, you had the choice, knowing what you know now, you can either keep your money in Bitcoin
Yes.
or move it all into a stable coin.
就在去年年初的时候，我可以选择持有 BTC 还是去换成 stable coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which would you choose? Knowing what you know now?
Knowing what I know now,
Yes.
Definitely I will choose stable coin.
Yes. So, so that's the thing, right? We can't know what's going to happen in a year from now.
Yeah.
But if you have a suspicion that the price of Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever, is going to go down, stable coins are a hedge, to preserve the dollar-denominated value of your funds, right? And so if you don't care, if you just want to hold 10 Bitcoin and you don't care whether the price is 3,000 or 20,000, don't put your money in a stable coin. But if you care more about whether you have $100,000 or $3,000, and you think the price of cryptocurrency is going to go down, you're safer putting your funds into stablecoins. Stablecoins are a hedge against the volatility that comes with cryptocurrency. Maybe I'll ask my own follow-up question, a question that I get a lot, which is, why would we put our money into TUSD rather than just US dollars?
Yes.
And that's a very fair question. I think that the sort of two-part answer to that is, one, it is easier to move your funds in and out of crypto to crypto than it is to move your funds from crypto to fiat. Exactly. Move the channels, let's just say you're a trader on ZBG.
Yeah.
To move from Bitcoin to US dollars, you would have to move your funds somehow off of ZBG, move them to one of the exchanges that has fiat trading, and then liquidate from there. All along the way, there's going to be fees. It might take time. It might take a long time, and it winds up being an expensive and time-consuming process. Additionally, if you decide that you want to maybe in a week from now move back into crypto, move back into Bitcoin, again, it's going to be the same long process of going from fiat on one exchange, then over to TUSD, say on ZBG, and then back into BTC.
Yes.
Whereas moving from crypto to crypto is a lot faster and with much lower fees.
Yes. You mean that if we hold the stable coins, it's much easier for us to transfer
Yes,
it into any other cryptocurrencies
correct. It's much easier to move out
and moving?
and easier to move in as well. Correct.
Yes, got it. You also compare the TUSD to the US dollars. Yes, okay. And we may further discuss about, you have mentioned that if it's in the beginning of 2018,
Yeah.
would it be your choice? And maybe it's an interesting question. And now it's the beginning of 2019.
Yeah.
So maybe we know that market is unpredictable, but we would like to hear your answer about, will you at this point hold a stable coin, or you will hold BTC?
Yeah, I mean, listen, unfortunately, I did not have the insight in January of 2017 of what was going to happen to the price. And I'm also not an active trader. I take a little bit more of a venture approach of holding it for a long time. So I messed up. I held BTC for the past year. So and at this point, I'd rather just keep holding it and fingers crossed it goes up than take the risk of it. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Also, I can see we're getting some questions on the live chat here.
Really?
Yeah.
But, maybe you can read it.
Yeah, definitely. So I see one question here that asks, TUSD is 1-to-1, or maybe you can. The question is,
I can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it.
Maybe you can read it for me.
Sure. So
it's very nice.
The one question here on the live chat is, TUSD is 1-to-1 to US dollars? ? Yes, TUSD is 1-to-1 with US dollars. And you don't have to believe me. You can go to our website, blog.trusttoken.com, and you can take a look on there. We've put out attestations every month going back to March that sort of proves that. Oh, I see two comments here. One says, "What a handsome guy."
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't mean to read that one. Okay. Nice.
Any questions? I can read it here.
Oh, there's actually another good question here as well. Oh, sorry. Yeah, please.
No, I'm reading, but you can go first.
Oh, okay. Will the TUSD fall one day, just like USDT? And so what that question is getting at was that on October 15th of this year, I'll never forget this. It was one of the craziest days. I just moved to Hong Kong, and I got out of a meeting.
Yes, Ryan 他去年10月15号的时候来到了香港。
Yes. Sorry, speak slower. And my phone, I had dozens of messages, and everyone was texting me because the price of Tether had fallen below 90 cents. It was down at about maybe 85 or 88 cents.
所以在那段时间，因为 USDT 跌得很厉害，很多人在问这个问题。
Yeah, and there was a lot of things that were sort of leading up to this that might have made that happen. But ultimately, what happened was that there was a loss of faith that Tether was actually backed by US dollars. And so I think that what we have done as a company has made sure that that our traders and our users know that TUSD is always backed 1-to-1 with US dollars. And we've done that by putting out these monthly attestations on our website. Now, again, going to this question, let's say the price of TUSD did fall below $1. Sometimes it gets, like 0.99999, just like goes 0.001 a little higher.
Yes.
But let's, say this has never happened, and I don't think it ever will. But let's say the price of TUSD went to 90 cents, 0.90.
Okay.
In that situation, you should take, at least this is what I would do. I would take as much money as I possibly could and buy as much TUSD at 90 cents as I possibly could. And why? Because you can always come to our website and sort of, give us back TUSD, and we will give you back $1 for it. And so even if you bought it on an exchange for 90 cents, it's still worth $1. And so we'll still give you back $1. So yeah, to answer that question.
Yes, and there are Chinese questions too
on
this, and they have question like, when do you think that the stable coins can holding stable coins means that can maybe avoid some market I don't know how to express, or in a sudden maybe it's that maybe you say that your stable coins is stable. That's how to believe that this coin is stable, and maybe after 1 month or 2 months later, there must be another token that stable than TUSD. And
Yeah. Okay, if I'm sort of following the question, it would be with all of these stable coins emerging, if